This soil sucks.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video, and I figured for my first video it only makes sense to talk about the foundation. I'm a teacher, so I like to start from the bottom and go up. And for me, that's my soil.
Come on a journey with me, baby, and go to a place where the beach is blue and gold. Yeah, yeah.
So I live in Barbados and I love houseplants, if you cannot tell. I want my plants to thrive. I want my plants to grow. I need them to get good air. I need them to get great light. And I water them according to the soil they're in. When you're thinking about creating a soil mix specifically for you, there's so many soils on the market. And you want to be thinking about a couple things. Number one, you want to make sure that air can get to your roots. So good soil mix should get air to your roots so they can receive the oxygen and make sure to grow those roots really, really big, aka produce bigger leaves, which is what we want, right? You also want to make sure that your soil has excellent drainage. A lot of people don't have their plants outside like I do. You need to be thinking what your environment is like. You can't just say, okay, this is the perfect soil mixture for everybody, because everybody has a different environment, right? Does the rain fall and wet the plants? Is there airflow to dry out the plants? Do you get a lot of light? Because then the soil is going to grow more quickly. And if that's the case, you want something that's going to hold on to water so your plants can actually use it, and it shouldn't just fall right through and then not keep any water. If not, you're going to be watering it more often. Plants eat. You also want your soil to feed your plant. And when your soil feeds your plant, you don't have to think about fertilizing as much, because you know your soil is really nutrient rich and providing everything plants need without you having to worry about it. So for me, that's another thing that you want to focus on. So those four things: you want your soil to feed, you want your soil to be able to breathe, you want your soil to be able to drain, and you want your soil to retain some moisture. That being said, there's a couple ways that you can get your soil to do those four things. If I was advising a new plant parent and we had a consultation and I said, okay, your soil sucks, your soil sucks, your soil sucks, then there's a couple things I would tell them to get. If they were on a budget, I would say go with a great peat moss mixture that has fertilizer already in it. And I don't mean those liquid beads. I mean this is Nature Mix. It's a brand in Barbados and it's my favorite potting mix. It feeds my plant for such a long time and my plants love it. So I always make sure to mix this, as this is the base that all of the plants go from. Every plant that I have has some of this in it, even if it's just a little bit. So this will provide food for my plants, nutrients. Look at all the wonderful things that are in it. And then for drainage, I recommend perlite. This is for somebody on a budget. If you want two things, 1 part perlite, 1 part, I don't measure anything. I just like a really chunky mix. But 1 part perlite and 1 part potted mix will do the job for you really well. For me, however, to drain but also hold on to just a little bit, like the ideal amount of moisture, I'm using primarily orchid bark. What this orchid bark, you can get orchid bark potted mix or you can get orchid bark by itself. I like to get the potted mix because it has other wonderful things in it. But what this does is it creates drainage and it never moves. The bad thing about perlite is that over time it comes to the top. If you look at this calathea I have here, after watering it, a lot of perlite rises to the top, especially because I'm really wild with my watering. I'm not cute and dainty like, ooh, here, you know, have a little sip of this. I'm like, drink, and I pour a lot of water. I want something that is gonna stay around the roots but won't rise to the top over time, so it will always have that drainage. And that is why I love orchid bark. Look how chunky, delicious. Because it has been very rainy and the rainy season has just ended, but it's been rainy, and I like to know that since my plants are outside, the water is going to drain right through. If you have a mix that features more of your potting medium, it's going to hold on to more water and you're more likely to rot. For overwaterers, you definitely want to make sure you add more perlite and a little bit less of the potted mix and more of the orchid bark if you do use orchid bark. Another thing that I like to use, coconut husk. This is the fiber from coconut husk, and what I will do is I'll take the plant, when I'm repotting it, I'll wrap the roots in this before I put it in the pot. The pot will already have some soil. I wrap the roots in this and cover the top with the chunky mix as well, because this creates a lot of airflow that my allies love. We have a ton of coconuts on the island, so it's kind of like use what you have, you know. Add some horticultural charcoal to your potting mix, and let me tell you why. A lot of y'all are overwaterers because we like to be with our plants and play up with them and all of that. You need to go ahead and drop that horticultural charcoal in that mix, because what's going to happen is you're going to pour more and more water and it's going to get icky down there, but that horticultural charcoal got you covered. That gonna got you like chef's kiss. It's gonna be like, okay, I'll clean the water, I'll clean the soil rather, because I know that you know what the hell you're doing, and you funking up the whole place, gnats everywhere, smelly. So let me just go ahead and clean this for you, right? Here's the thing: if you use orchid potting mix, usually it already has in horticultural charcoal. You see that? These little black pieces, horticultural charcoal, and it will purify that soil for you, which we love to see it. We love to see it. Like, who doesn't want to set themselves up for success? So that is my goal. Every time I mix my wonderful magical mixture, I want to know that my plants are taken care of at least for a while, because I have easily over 200. Should we do a plant tour? Comment below. But I don't know. What do y'all like to put in your mixes? I am interested to learn. So yeah, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. Go ahead and subscribe, okay? For more videos, and tell me what you want to see from this channel down below. But this has been a Carib Cultivated classroom. Thank you for joining me. Bye. See you in the next video.